Now I gotta watch my intro without all
I
that.
like it though. I'm sitting here entertained. I'm like, oh shoot.
You
like
entertained by my intro. You like that part with the whole city of Milwaukee at the end?
yes, I do. And I was like, hold on, is that the
Yup.
like you know what I mean?
Because what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Where I Come From. It is I, Mr. Tone Down. I'm back in the building, and as you can see today, I'm joined by somebody special. Okay, so there's few people who I actually allow in my studio that's not part of TDR, and she happens to be one of them.
Yo.
Now, you may have recognized her voice.
Yeah.
On the radio, if people still listen to the radio.
For sure.
But this is someone very special to me. She has definitely fallen into the little sister category. And today we are going to talk about everything that's Jvst Bri.
What's poppin'?
Go ahead. No.
That makes me nervous.
No. Do your real introduction. Don't play with me.
Oh, what's up? It's your fly gal, Jvst Bri, checking in with the Tone Deaf Podcast. But we ain't there right now. It's where you come from. So we talking about where I came from?
We're talking about where you came from.
Oh, people don't even know. I'm from the hood. I'm ghetto.
I
on the low.
That. I know. See, I know you ghetto. But you the good ghetto. You the kind of ghetto where I can be in safe places.
Yeah.
But the minute you make me be ghetto, you will get it, and people will be clutching their purse like, "Oh my, I didn't know she was."
I get it.
So what's up with you? Like, what's new with you? Let's start there.
Who new with me? So most people know already, or maybe you don't, but I started my own beauty supply company.
I seen that.
Let's
give you a round of applause for that.
So that has been probably like the newest thing that's been going down.
So what made you go that direction?
Well, so COVID happened, right?
COVID happened to everybody.
And although I was still working at the radio station at that time, everybody's job security was up in the air.
So I heard.
And that's such a shitty position to be in. No matter what. No matter if people telling you you're safe, no matter if people is telling you, you don't worry about it. It's still a thing to worry about.
Right.
And I just remember sitting there like, I've always dreamed of owning a beauty supply store. I'm a Black girl. Don't judge me. Like the beauty supply store.
We need more of y'all. It makes sense for a Black girl to own a beauty supply store, being the fact that we have the most products that's needed. So at least when the Black girl come in, you see her girl like, ooh, yeah, go down aisle 4.
Whole section.
Right.
Like that's the whole point of why I started my own beauty supply company. And I was in Mayfair Mall for a while.
I seen that.
And then I made, my goods, and now I'm investing in my own building and my own place and all that good stuff. So that's in the workings. And right now we're doing online delivery. So we deliver straight to your door. We're the only beauty supply company that delivers.
Oh.
So
you got something for the men?
Of course. I got beard care. I got hair care for guys. Like anything that you need, nail care, body, all that good stuff.
I need like a good nail care kit.
Oh, son, you should have told me that. I would have brought you it for free.
I didn't know the extent of it. I knew you were in the mall because you were right across from a couple of my homies.
Can I ship here?
You can ship here. I would, you know what? Because I love you. You can get my actual address.
Okay, for sure. Because then I could just give it to you as a gift because you've always looked out for me. So
always will.
But I started that not only just because of job security, but passion, right? Like I love my hair. I love my nails. I love my skin.
Right.
And I'm a big enthusiast of makeup, skincare, all of it. So, and when you look at who really owns beauty supply stores in the neighborhoods that they reside in,
they don't look like us.
They don't look like us. And one of the biggest things is if I walked into that beauty supply store and I needed help with something, 9 times out of 10, another customer can help me better
than they can.
Than the employee. And that's a problem. Definitely. I worked in retail before I got into radio for 3-4 years almost. And I was great at my job. All the jobs I've ever had, they would take me back right now if I wanted to, because
Right.
I was a
You knew
great
you knew
seller
your stuff.
because I could relate.
Right.
Whether I was selling clothes at Zoomies, or whether I was selling shoes at Aldo's, or whether I was selling hair, makeup, nails at Riley Rose, I was great at all of them. I was always in the top sellers list.
Right.
I always had the benefits and stuff, and that made me think I could do this myself one day. So putting that dream of, oh, I want to own a beauty supply store chain, not just one, but a chain, a franchise, then I can always build towards that.
Okay.
And when COVID came around, it was like, hold up, PPP loans. I ain't got no business. I ain't about to do no fraud and shit, but PPP loans. The government loves businesses because businesses add to the economy. And anytime there's a depression or something that happens, what do they want? People to spend money and put money into the economy. So they back
Right.
businesses more than anything, especially small businesses,
Right.
because they never know what's going to pop and what's going to be the
Exactly.
next big thing. And looking at that and looking at my job security, I was like, oh, it's time. And so that's how Jvst Beauty had came into my life,
Okay.
or I created
So,
it.
what were some of the difficulties you had starting Jvst Beauty?
Difficulties. Funding. Funding is one. So when you first start, you are going into your own pockets. And luckily I am a very big advocate of saving.
Okay.
Like, I have to have something in my savings.
Right.
Unless that's when the depression starts to kick in. Hold up, what don't I have in this account?
Right.
So with that being said, I spent a lot of my own money, as you should.
Right.
You know, never be scared of that. That should be anytime you're investing in yourself, never be afraid of it.
I always say when you put more of yourself into something, you tend to care more about it. If you start a business because someone gave you $10,000, when that business is not going nowhere,
you're not gonna care.
You're not gonna care. You'll jump ship in a heartbeat.
You may care because you're like, oh, I see that this thing is losing money,
right?
But you're not gonna care
when it's time to close the doors.
Things that you care about should almost keep you up at night.
Exactly.
Things that you really are passionate about can bring you to your knees and pray to God, like, yo, I need this right now. I need this to work. I need this to make sense. I need this to pop.
Right.
And like you said, if somebody gives you something, it's different than when you put the shovel in the dirt and you work for it.
Exactly.
I still have no business financing at the moment, right?
Right.
Like I have it for Jvst Beauty and all that good stuff right now, but at that moment in time, I didn't have that.
Right.
I was going based off my day-to-day money. And so going into the mall and really making a killing, making more in 3 months than I made at a job ever.
Right.
Killed me. I was like, oh, this is great. I was like, yo, I got employees. I got people who care.
So what made you choose the mall to begin with? Specifically Mayfair Mall.
Well,
because at the time when you went into the mall, there was this big controversy going on.
Yeah, it was a few months after that situation happened. Right. I think everybody know. I'm not gonna speak on it.
No, we're not gonna.
Families and stuff involved in that, but it was a tough decision because of all the cons, right? Like, is it safe? Is it going to be okay? Am I going to be able to have stability when it comes down to theft and financials and all that stuff? But as a businesswoman, I had to sit down and really look at census reports.
Right.
I had to look at their theft protection. I had to look at what things have they implemented to make the mall even safer ever before.
Right.
So when I sat down and looked at that, I said, hold on. So we have customers coming in, over 25,000 people in a mall just on the given. In and outs. Also, you count the employees, that's even more. So now I start
those usually are you're more likely to be
your
repeat
customers
because they're already there. They've been watching what you have. They've been researching.
And what's my experience, right? I worked at three stores at the mall at the same time at some point. I know all the inner workings. I know the back doors. I used to have to take the trash out all the way down to the basement, touching nasty, gross shit from the food court. People thought I was crazy when I was like, I don't eat at the mall.
No.
I know what's behind it. I know what's behind the mall.
When my old company that I used to work for was in the mall, if it wasn't for the fact that some places gave you free food or very discounted, I probably would have never ate the mall.
For sure. And then that's another thing. You build relationships, you start
Right.
to get free food. That was great, but when you in the back and you touching the
Do you,
shit that
do
they
you see
cook
it?
with,
Mm-mm.
you're like, no. But I had to look at all these factors. And when I seen a census report, and that's, if you're a business owner, the first thing you need to do is go and look at the business census reports. That'll tell you what area is going to be for you and what's your target audience.
Okay.
My target audience for Just Beauty is 18 to 45.
Makes sense.
18 to 45. How often do 18 to 45-year-olds come into the mall? A high percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I needed to be. And that's just the logistical end. And from my logistics to my experience and then my personal opinion, it all made sense.
Okay. Let me veer to the left here and ask you a question.
Okay.
You are an African American woman.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I mean, sometimes I question.
Boy, I know I'm a little light, but no.
How difficult was it to be able to maneuver in a space that's predominantly non-melanated, though? Or was it just because makeup is what it is, it basically sold itself?
Ooh. You know what? At the kiosk, I had less makeup than I did hair care products.
Okay.
At the time. And it was hard at moments because let me say this. It was easy yet hard.
Okay.
Easy part was selling to my people.
Right.
Easiest part was selling facts.
Right.
Because that's easy for me.
Right.
You can look at my hair and know that I know about hair care. You can look at my makeup and know I know about makeup. Now my skin, okay, I got some blemishes, but you know that I may know something.
That makes you human.
That makes me something, right? That makes me that I know something about this. So that was the easy part. The hard part was wrangling in people of non-color.
The non-melanateds.
And when I say wrangle them in, it's not even that I necessarily want to sell to you. Whatever I can provide to you that I have, cool. I know my target market.
Right.
I always want customers. I will talk to you and let you know anything that you need to know. Right. That's never the issue. But on the other hand, when you're doing business with people who are not melanated, it's hard for them to understand.
Right.
And one of the biggest things that I learned is that I don't like to talk about what I know I can show.
Right.
So it's either you're going to give me this chance to show you what I can do and that what I will do, or you're not. And that's cool for you to be on the not end. I'm just not going to worry about you.
Right.
Only people that I'm worried about is the people who is in tune with what I can do and what I can sell and what
market. Yep.
They don't even have to be a part of my target market.
Okay.
As long as you can see my facts, look at my business plan, look at the opportunities that I've created not only for myself but other people. That's all that matters to me. And look at that and make your decision. And if your decision is in, I got you, and we roll until the wheels fall off. If it's not, I'm not gonna spend my time. No, I can't. It's only 24 hours in a day, and I gotta sleep at least 6 of those. So no, I ain't got no time.
Completely understand. Go ahead and send me that business plan. I might invest in you.
Okay, baby. Okay. I got you. Don't say that because I'm always on hand with some shit.
Look, fam. If I say send me something, send me something.
Got you.
All right.
Got you. Angel investor. That's another thing.
Let's get back to what you do now. Besides that, how'd you end up in radio?
Ooh. So.
Because that sounds like a big jump to go from selling shoes to being on air.
Yeah. It took a minute for me to get on air, but I'll explain everything. I think this journey for me starts in college, starts in my second semester at UWM. Really my first semester, but going into second semester, I kind of had the placements. So when I was at UWM, I went into communications.
Okay.
Started off as nursing, realized I don't like I don't like that. Like, no. I don't like touching people. No. I was like, how was I ever going to be a nurse when I didn't like touching people?
She wasn't going to wipe nobody's ass, fam. Plain and simple.
But I never come at that because my mom is a nurse. So, you know what I mean? And I kind of thought like, oh, this is lucrative, da-da-da-da. That I went to communications. And I'm sitting in communications classes. And it's cool. Everything is working out. And I'm seeing, the bits and pieces of where I can go with it.
Right.
But HR ain't me, and I'm like, well, how do I do with Lala Anthony is one of my biggest influence, right?
Okay, I'll give
She
Lala.
went from radio, TV,
Right.
film. Every time somebody asks me about what my journey has been and what do I want it to look like, I always mention her. Radio, TV, film is beautiful to me. And the way that she did it, dominated. I don't think we talk about her enough about how she did what she did in the amount of
Actually,
time
yeah,
she
because she
did.
was one of the original VJs.
Original with Ludacris.
Right.
Ludacris
Actually,
fucking
before
mixing
Luda.
his mixtapes while she's on air doing her thing.
Yeah, Lala. Yeah, Lala. You know what? Shout out
Please
to
speak
Lala.
about it.
Shout out to Lala. Because now you sit down and think about it. That she actually had a nice little run.
Yeah.
We just just wish she would act better on Power, but
Hey,
there's classes for that.
everybody do their thing.
Right, there's classes for that. But yeah, you're right. She came a
Yeah.
long way.
So with that in my head, I'm like, well, how am I gonna do that? And I'm looking at the course load for the next 4 years, and I don't even see one broadcasting. I don't see a broadcasting class.
Right.
Then I look at JAMS, which is their journalism media, deal, and I'm like, I don't even see it here. I don't really see that right now. And so I finished out the semester, but I'm feeling now down. And I'm like, you know what? I could create this because I was listening to Combat Jack, which is like one of the first.
Shout out to
podcasts.
Combat Good. Like, fam literally motivated so many of us that podcast.
Yeah. And nobody knew that.
Right.
Like I'm a big hip hop person. I'm a big music person. And I would listen to Combat Jack, before he passed away.
Right.
And I just remember thinking, if he could do it, I can do it. And he would talk about starting your own podcast.
Right.
And I was like, all right. So I started my podcast, The Group Chat.
Right.
So I build a whole
dope ass name. First of all, I want you to know that.
You said what?
That's a dope ass name.
Thank you. The Group Chat MKE is my baby.
Because it is definitely probably a very relatable thing. Everybody has a group
multiple
chat.
Group chats. You talk about a slew of different things. You may talk about movies. You may talk about guys, men, like all sorts of stuff in your group chat. Your group chat can get crazy.
It can.
So with that being said, I started my group chat that semester, and it was, it was coming. I was going to launch it on my birthday, June 1st. And I'm talking to everybody in the place. Like anytime I'm selling a clothing item, I somehow relate it back to my podcast. Hey, make sure you listen to my podcast. Here's my card. Here's the group chat card. Make sure you tune in June 1st, dropping our first episode. People, like my coworkers started to get upset because they like, you're selling more than just clothes right now. I'm like, listen, I'm talking to hundreds of people a day. I'm gonna maximize these 100 people a day, and that just is what it is.
It's just like,
are you gonna fire me? No, I'm a top seller. Like,
no, because you gotta realize you gotta let people. The craziest thing about podcasting, because anybody who knows me knows whenever I have this conversation, I always relate it to the music game.
Yeah.
And when you're a podcaster, you're literally an independent artist.
Yeah.
So the same,
I'm shuffling my mixtapes.
Right, exactly. the same type of techniques that independent artists and starving artists have to do to get themselves out there is the same thing you have to do as a podcaster. The whole thing is listens, streams, downloads. Those are literally the equivalents of album sales, playlists that you got added to, spins.
Yeah.
So if you don't put the legwork in it, you're just another podcast on the Apple app.
You're just another tool.
Right.
For them to make money.
Right. They'll just throw a commercial in the front of it and they get paid. Meanwhile, you don't.
Right. And I wasn't into that. Right. So I was pushing it as much as I can. And I had signed up for the podcast, the Spotify Black Women's Podcast, like initiative.
Right.
And I signed up and I was like hoping that I could get in. And I remember the Tuesday before my birthday getting that call and getting the rejection letter.
Oh.
And I was like, yo, because I really was like, yo, I got my ducks in a row. I got an episode. Like I sent them 4 episodes that I pre-recorded before they were even out.
Right.
Website, I had everything. Like I thought I was golden. I was like, there's no way they could pass me up on this, right?
Right.
And it happened. It's like, oh shit. So I'm starting to feel sad.
Right.
But I have to keep pushing this podcast. But and that sadness ultimately led me to be like, man, you know what? Fuck Spotify, and I'm gonna make them see why they should have chose me.
Right.
You know, and it was beautiful. It wasn't fuck Spotify because I hate them. It was fuck Spotify because I need to show y'all what
it was
y'all
more
missed out on.
it was more of the motivational piece.
So then I'm doing my thing and I'm still shuffling around. And my coworker comes up to me and he's like, yeah, that guy says he works for iHeart Milwaukee. And so, it was the most popular, famous radio host that we know today here in Milwaukee. And I'm giving my elevator pitch. I know what it is. I know how to do it. I'm going to make sure this is the best moment of his day right now, talking to me, knowing what I can offer them. Not what I want from them, not what I want from anybody, but what can I offer you first? Because you got to be a giver before you're a taker.
Big facts.
So what can I offer you? Boom, laid it out. That Friday, I met him that Tuesday. So it was the Tuesday before I got that rejection letter. A week later, that next Tuesday, met with him. Then he was like, yeah, come through Friday. And I never left the radio station then.
That's what's up.
I would call and be like, hey, can I spend some hours, volunteer, this, that, and the third. And that eventually led me to basically create a position that was not a position that was available. And I created that in that space for me. And I volunteered for 9 months, didn't get paid for nothing. I just kept going. And I worked 3 jobs at the mall, Aldo's, Riley Rose, Zoomy. And I was volunteering at the radio station. And I was still in school, goddammit. Like
you were on the
making it happen. I don't know how. Like these days, I'd be like, what?
Well, how did you do it? You had no life.
No, not really.
So,
not really.
Now that we're now at this point in time, you're in.
Mm-hmm.
You're in.
Yeah.
How did we start DJing?
So my mentor at the time, the same person that I met in the mall, was like, you have to be skilled at more than one thing.
Right.
It's like, okay, cool. So then I got my board, got a better laptop and everything. But I'm looking at this board like, I don't even know what the hell to do with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I open it up and I play with it and stuff, but I feel like I'm not learning anything. And of course, I'm looking up YouTube videos and stuff.
Right.
But I'm like, dog, this ain't it.
You still wasn't feeling it.
Right. So then I meet my bestie, New Styles. I always call him my bestie. He'd be like, leave me alone. But my bestie, New Styles, I call him, no, actually, DJ O brought him into the station to DJ, live on one of the Saturdays. Right. And I met him. I seen him in person. Fuck it up. Right. And I was like, impossible. I need to know how to do that. Like, I can't say that I'm a DJ and not be able to kill it like he's killing it. He's the best DJ I know, hands down.
You didn't want to be the playlist DJ.
No, I didn't want to be the playlist DJ. And you know what? I sucked. I had gigs where I just sucked, and that was fine.
Yes.
But he taught me, and because he's to this day, I try to start fights with other DJs. I'll be like, New Styles is better than you, just so that they can battle it out on the boards, on the boards.
Dog,
shout out to Set by Set. But yeah, I'd be like, yeah, New Styles will whoop you. Like just so I can see New Styles really kill it on go head to head with somebody. Never really happened, but it's all funny.
You were born in the wrong era.
Maybe.
You definitely should have been born in the 80s.
Man, not the 80s. Then I'd be like my mama age. Maybe like 90s. No, early 2000s.
That's when the DJ battles was the stuff.
I was born in it. Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Like born in the 80s and lived through like the 90s. Yeah. Okay.
That's when the DJ.
Because I was born in 1999. So
sorry to hear that.
Back to it. Because I can't. Like my kid, other people my age, I'd be like, yo, what's up with you? I don't know. Right. It's a little scary out there. But
it definitely is.
Yeah, so he told me come to his basement. I know that sounds crazy, but he told me come to his basement and he legit would teach me. I would just sit and play with the turntables, not the controllers. No, the old school turntable mixer trio.
The real 808.
And I was like, even then, I didn't know what to do with my little board, but this is a big set. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell to do. And he would leave me. He'd be like, play with it. And he taught me. And I still go to his basement now and be like, yo, teach me how to do X, Y, and Z. This is hard. Like, he is still my mentor to this day. Absolutely love new styles. Like absolutely.
Did he teach you what to do with the crayon?
Basically, like that's basically it.
That's what to
Like
do with the crayon.
he taught me how to color within the lines and know when to be outside of the lines. Like he
Only real
I
DJs
give
would
him a
know what
lot
the
of
crayon
credit.
does. Only real DJs know what the crayon do. If you don't know what the crayon do, fam,
They're great,
you
as we like to call it sometimes. But yeah, so he has all the credit for that. And then hosting and stuff, of course, like my radio mentor taught me a lot about that, but that took a lot of self-knowledge
Right.
to do. Because nobody can do it like you do it. And when you're a female host, it's so much other that goes into it that male hosts don't have to.
And I was getting
go
ready,
through.
and that's I'm glad you went that direction. I was going to go there. The hosting situation, I kind of feel like you're natural for that.
Really?
If anybody has ever had just a regular conversation with Bri, her Gemini personality just stands out.
And she needs to be tucked in the fucking pocket sometime. Like I do. Like I think that, like, yo, you need to chill out.
Sometimes she comes out. So I can definitely see her moving the crowd. So when I trying to think, where were you DJing at? And I just happened to be there one time. But I wasn't even going to be there long because I was dropping
Really?
something off.
Did we know each other at that time? No.
We did, but we didn't.
Okay, because
I'll
walk up to you and be
you were a guest on somebody's show. You were a guest on Spilling the Tea. It was in the early years. So I knew who you were. I just didn't know you yet.
Yeah.
We didn't get to know each other until you were doing a few episodes for the group chat.
Yeah.
But and I was like, she cold with this. Like, I can literally see you hosting. I want to say a whole talk show. I can see the group chat being a regular Milwaukee talk show.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need the View. They old and they don't talk about much, but I can see you having a regular show. And in the way your energy in regards to it, you definitely are where you're supposed to be at. Now, what's next for you is the real question.
Yeah. So club hosting is, you know what? People don't even know that I've been doing it since I was 17. 17, I was hosting house parties.
I was going to say, you weren't supposed to be in the club at 17.
Hey, but I was in the club at 18 for sure. So, because I started at the radio 18 going on 19.
Right. So that's different.
Yeah, like I was 18 volunteering and stuff. So, like 18 going on 19. But 17, 18, mostly like house parties and all that stuff. Wasn't even really, there was no mic at no house party or nothing. Like you was just like, I was just the it girl then.
Right.
And then I was in the clubs and stuff for the radio station in a way. And then also getting my own name out there as a host and as a DJ. I've been doing that scene for a minute.
You have.
And as much as I love it, I'm a woman, you know. Right. I'm only 22 now. I'm 22 going on 23, but you know, I'm noticing. Oh, my stomach getting a little pudgy. Seriously, like because I'm eating hot wings at 12 in the morning, and then going home and going straight to sleep. I'm drinking. I wouldn't get drunk anytime I was working. I wouldn't get drunk.
That's like me.
But I'm drinking. Even just shots or whatever with people because they're offering and a sip or something. And that's unhealthy. And one thing about it is I realized a long time ago, even when I was a dancer at High School of the Arts, that I have to take care of this body.
Right.
And I can't be a female host with the lumps and rolls. Like, that's not me. You know, that's not my image that I want to do. And so I had to work on being a better me and realizing like, maybe this isn't the longevity. Like, I don't feel that with hosting clubs and stuff.
It shouldn't.
It's a natural thing for me.
Right. It's a natural. I feel like
but
club
it's time
hosting,
to move on.
Yeah, club hosting should only be temporary.
Mm-hmm.
You should use it as another platform.
Yeah.
Everything should lead to whatever your end goal is. The popularity, the fame, the notoriety that you get from the club hosting should only be one more tool that you're using to get to your end goal.
Yeah.
And it's the group chat TV show, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Shout out to it's a new media that's out there now. Full Circle
Oh,
TV.
shout out to Kayla now.
Hold up. Like, if you know them, tell them to hit me up. I want to offer my hosting services to them. I absolutely love their Black Love series
Mm-hmm.
that they got going on. I would love to be the host for them. Period. Let me just put that out there. Shout out to them. Also, shout out to you. You've always given me the platform. You've
Right.
hosted the group chat here a number of times. And it's another one. No Studios, of course.
That's my
And I
people's
want
too.
to reach out to them too and let them know what I got going down. Although I've met all these people before, I've just been crazy with Jvst Beauty, so forgive me.
No, we get it. We get it.
Yeah,
We
so
understandable. Everybody you just named are all entrepreneurs at the end of the day.
yeah.
So
Oof,
we all
God bless
get it.
'em.
It's crazy because I really had just like finally face to face met Kayla a couple of weeks ago because she came in to do actually last month. Damn, it's been a month already.
Yes.
She came in
Crazy.
to do an episode on Cutthroat podcast.
Cool.
Shout out to KC and rest in peace to KT.
Yeah.
And their vibe, I can see you doing that. I have events coming up.
Book me. I don't even got a booking link.
You got a booking link?
I just tell people to call me. I don't just call me.
Of course, I'm gonna call you.
I always put it on the schedule and send out emails and da 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 da. But
So
like,
what I'm
you
saying,
know,
I'm telling you right now, you better come to my event on April 30th.
the podcast link up.
Who told you?
I know. I just know. Like, I know. Although I may not be very interactive, I keep up with people I care about or
Okay.
people that I've really F's with, you know,
Okay.
trying to cuss less.
Girl,
F's with, you
this is my
know,
network. If you don't cuss here, we gonna worry about you.
you know,
You don't cuss,
probably.
you the feds.
Right.
That's
I
how we
know.
treat you here. Nah, you definitely. Anytime I do anything, I'm definitely gonna reach out to you in regards to it.
Please do.
Once I start this game show, this actual game show, I am gonna need a permanent host.
You saw me play games on the group chat, so yeah, I play all games.
No, I'm actually gonna create an actual game show. It's gonna be an actual game show.
I'll be your host.
I'm just waiting for what was
Confirmation.
supposed to be my permanent location. She's getting a new spot.
Okay.
So once she gets her new spot,
we ready.
we ready. So
Poo, period poo.
we can go outside now. So we finna wild out.
Right.
But anyway, I know I keep bringing this up, and you kind of didn't answer the question.
Oh, sorry.
What's your end goal?
Okay, so my end goal as Jvst Bri, Brianna McQuay, is to own more than 5 chains of Jvst Beauty across the country, to then branch off into being an executive producer on many different things. Like, I want to produce a series and shop it to a few networks called Skin, and it shows, like, it displays different skin struggles.
Okay.
As far as whether that's regular old acne or acne erosia or, you know, just a number of different things. And I want to do teenagers, right? Because that's when we affected the most.
That's when it happens the most.
And we follow them and we get dermatologists, experienced dermatologists, kids of color, and then professionals of color who actually teach these kids about their skin.
Ooh.
So that's something. And then to branch off and do things like, if you ever seen LeBron's The Shop, I want to do the beauty, you know, the salon. Like,
right.
Because us women, we have things we got to talk about. Okay.
Can we get the group chat morning show?
Morning? Shit.
Most morning shows don't start to 10 o'clock though.
God damn. Shit.
Yes, we need you. You
know what? Let's actually talk about that. That's something that I'd be more than willing to do.
Because I can see you. No, I'm talking like a legitimate. I want to turn on Fox 6, and as soon as Real Milwaukee goes off, I want to see the group chat.
For sure. That's something that I could do. I'm sorry, I keep hitting this chord, but that's something that I
know
can do.
You're used to wireless mics and headsets.
I'm sure am. I'm so sorry.
I'm okay.
So sorry.
I'm not
so
as fancy as that. I don't own radio station money.
Hey, listen, those are still corded.
I'm not part. I don't own like the number 1 radio station in the Midwest right now.
But goddamn it, tone deaf is a staple.
I keep hearing that. I still don't believe it. It's taken me a minute to accept the fact that I am as big as I am.
You know what? You just have to just keep going with that. Because once you really see it, it's not what you want. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you be like, what?
And I think,
Like it's
and it was
all.
funny. So today I
Mm.
did a Black podcast meetup seminar because we're now all of us networks. We're trying to come together and make it a conducive unit to help people be better podcasters, or
Mhm.
just even help out those who are thinking about jumping into this world because this ain't built for everybody.
Yeah, it's it's not. It's not. It's
And
not.
today, when they were doing the presentation and they were putting together, okay, this is my network. Here are my shows. This is that network. There are their shows. And then here's Tone, and it was like he showed like a bunch of them, and then in the corner was and many more. It was the many more that got me.
Right.
It was like I don't have those many, and then I had to think about it. Like, damn, I do have those many. I
Yeah.
have worked with those many people. I have produced.
It's important to celebrate yourself
Right.
and
And
to
it's like I
celebrate.
have to remind myself I really am out here, but at the same time, I'm never satisfied where I'm at.
Exactly.
Like you've been in
And
this,
once you see it, you be like, I'm extremely dissatisfied.
right?
Like
Like I'm
I'm
not happy where I'm
extremely
at.
dissatisfied. Like I have more.
Like
And
my family makes
curse,
my
giving the
family
curse.
makes the joke that the Hamilton play is my favorite play.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite plays behind Cats. So when they turned it into the movie version of it that you could watch on Disney,
Yeah.
that first year it dropped because we was also stuck in COVID too. I
Right.
damn near probably watched it and listened to it every single day. It became
Yeah.
background music while I work sometimes.
Right.
And the song Never Satisfied, which is one of the main songs of the movie, they was like, yeah, you like this song because that's you. You're never happy with what it is. Like the minute you do something, you're like, okay, let's add this now. Or let's do this here. It's like, okay, I'm done with this project. Let's go ahead and do this one over here. You never sit down and be in the moment anymore.
Yeah.
And I think, and that's where I'm at right now, even though I'm not really in the moment because I'm already looking to do more.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
But you could take a glance at it and appreciate it.
I do.
And that's very, very, very important. I've had to learn how to appreciate myself on a next level
Right.
type of deal.
And that's how I look at you sometimes. I look at you as a little sister who took everything that I did and made it her own. Like, I'm not saying
That's
I had a
dope.
major factor in what you do, but I look at everything you do and I was like, I used to like that. I used to be there. I used to want to do that. I used to want to do that. Like, I wanted to do the host and I wanted to do the DJ and I wanted to be on radio. And I look at you and you looked at everything and I see how you've made it successful. And like you said, you want to be a nurse? Fuck that. I don't want to be no damn nurse. Shout out to moms.
Yeah, right. Like shout out to my
shout out to mom.
She was very disappointed at that time too when I made that decision.
And a lot of
but,
and I think and what I've come to realize, majority of people who move to the audio video industry, our parents are not as happy with it because my mom wanted me to be a doctor so bad. I got sent to North Division in high school because they have a med prep program.
Yeah.
And I went through it. I did it. And I told her, like, I don't like the sight of blood. I can't. I can't stand needles. That's about 65% of my job right there. I can't do.
Right.
So I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah.
And I went to the tech world, and the tech world led to the music because I love music.
Most people only see it now because they see overnight success.
Right.
And that's a dangerous thing.
And it's not even overnight success. They're just showing you the final product.
Yeah, there are some overnight successes, but there, like you said, there
are some. But most of it, you're seeing the final product.
Yeah.
You didn't see the struggle. You didn't see the behind the scenes. You didn't see the late night hours.
And people think that about me because they like, oh, you just kind of popped into radio. No, I didn't just pop into radio. You know what I mean? Like, I had to show what my worth was,
right?
And that's harder than you may think.
Actually, to be a new face at such a young age, that right there is an acknowledgement within itself. Because most of the people that are in the position that you are in have been there so long that the old guards are just now moving around.
Yeah.
They're just now moving around.
Or trying to, with that being said, I don't want any young person, if any person younger than me, I'm 22, or in my same age, or in your 20s, anything, right. Like if you're in your 20s, 18 to 20, any part of your 20s, man, ageism is a thing.
It is.
I've at 22, I've done too much. And that's all good and positive. But at 22, I've done so much that my resume looks like a lie. And I had to realize that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've had to call people and say, no, 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 no. That is very true. I have
You
evidence
actually
and proof
physically
and
have
this.
to have the references.
Oh, dude, like it's a thing,
Right.
and that's okay with me. But you have to go and address that. If you've ever had some level of success at a young age, you have to address these people as adults
Right.
and as like level-headed people, and understand that at a previous life, at a previous time, that was not the case for them.
Right.
At 22, they expect for us to still be working at McDonald's and to be figuring out our lives in college and just now graduating but not working in our field.
Right.
That's okay. That's their reality, but that does not have to be our reality, and don't get misunderstood by that. Don't let people mistake you for some other shit
Right.
than what you are. You
Right.
know, you are who you are, you have your accolades, and you go for it, and you sit at that damn table and you act like you're supposed to be there.
Big facts.
Jay-Z has that famous quote that's going around just now, but I remember first hearing it. I walk into a room like I'm supposed to be there.
Exactly.
I have doubts and shit that go through my head all the time, but most times if I'm walking into a room, I'm worried about one thing: getting my point across.
Exactly.
That's the only thing that I care about. My point across.
And it's crazy you said that because before I truly got comfortable in the position of being a network,
Mm-hmm.
I was intimidated by people around me who was intimidated by me.
Of course.
Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't until we all sat down one day and did a show together where we just talked about the struggles we have with being not only the executive, but the producer. And for them to say, oh, yeah, I look at Tone when he does A, B, C, D. And it's like, I'm a blueprint for you. Meanwhile, I'm looking at y'all because I'm trying to transition from this internet radio world to this podcast world, and I'm not shifting properly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, but I'm looking at you because your internet world, you had the podcast gang before we even had a name for it.
Right.
And literally, we were following you. We just did this over here because it was what the end thing was
at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it definitely act like you're supposed to be there. Because now when I'm in the room, it's like, oh shit, Tone here.
That's the only thing that you need to worry about in life. What do you bring to the table? And then you question yourself, are you the table? When you know what? In Just Beauty, I am the table.
You are the table.
I'm the table. I'm the CEO. I'm the person who goes out to bring people to this table. I'm also the person who has to hold whoever is sitting at this table up. And that's important.
How many employees you got now?
So I have about 5 employees now, but back when I was in the mall, I had about 7. And they were beautiful young men and women who were just extremely, like, when I left the mall, it was hard for me because I felt like I was failing them. But to this day, they're like, I'm working at this job. I'm about to quit. When is Just Beauty opening? Loyal, because why? I was a great boss.
And we need more.
I struggled at times. Behind the scenes, I tell them all the time, like, behind the scenes, when I first got word of whatever happened that went wrong and something, I was telling like my dad, who's on my board of advisors, my mom, like my people who I trust, like, I'm about to fire. I'm about to go in and raise hell and fire. And they like, no, really think about it. Were you this age? Were you this? Were you that? So when I went back to my employees, I had the most sound, level-headed opinion.
You had a great conversation.
And stern hand, and whatever happened to correct it and move forward. Sometimes they never got that even working at McDonald's.
Right. I was saying a lot of our younger generation, they're not getting opportunities because people are coming in with preconceived notions already.
Oh, yeah.
So because you're 23, 24 years old, and the last time we hired somebody this age, their immaturity caused you not to be able to work with them. So they had to get let go. So now we don't want to hire anybody under that age when you don't know what the circumstances is. Sometimes the one you got rid of, if you just told them, like, bro, you don't do A, B, C, D, you do this, this, and that,
Yeah.
you probably just corrected the biggest mistake.
The best advice I ever got with dealing with employees actually came from Gary V. You know, the guy.
Right.
I know some people don't like him because they think like he just blows smoke up your ass, but I've found his advice to be very freeing.
Right.
The first thing that I come at any employee with is what's happening in your life that's affecting your work life. Nine times out of 10, whatever is happening, as long as you're providing a great work environment for an
Right.
employee, there should be no other reason than what's happening in their personal life.
Exactly.
Hell, as we become adults, how often does an employer ask you about your damn personal life?
No.
Probably none. And when they do, they probably use that as a weapon against you.
Exactly.
Instead of a weapon to help you.
Exactly.
To fight against, hey, okay, so what's going on before you get here? Well, this, that, and the third. I hate when this happens. My home situation is not good. I'm working with young kids. So I work with young kids sometimes who are in high school. That's never easy, right?
Right.
A breakup, it's like you want to stay in bed all day. And most grown folks want to do that too. I can come to you with understanding. I can come to you with understanding and make you feel comfortable about being at work today, because today you may get to talk to me about your issues at home.
Right.
And that's freeing. As long as you're doing your work, right? That's freeing to come and be like, girl, listen to what happened today. I'm not saying that I'm going to be your friend. I'm not saying that I'm going to be an enemy. But we can have a neutral understanding that when you come here, you may even get a chance to vent, let it out.
Right.
And then get to work and let this be a little safe haven for you.
Right.
For understanding. That's a part of Jvst Beauty's vision and mission statement. We want this place. Our vision statement is Jvst Beauty is a place. We want Jvst Beauty to be a safe haven.
Exactly.
For anybody of any culture. And that's employees too.
That's why you my little sister. That's exactly what I do here. Most of my shows have a 2-hour block.
Yeah.
And I think I did this with you too when you wasn't running late. But we would talk for about 15, 20 minutes before the show even started.
Yeah, for
sure. And it has nothing to do with the show. It has nothing to do with the topic or anything like that.
It has everything to do with you.
You and you. And we'll talk, and then whatever nervousness or jitters or confusions or problems you had, that's out your system, and you turn around and end up having a great show.
Yeah.
You know, and I do that with a lot of my people. I have some people who they'll come and they'll record their show for 30 minutes. And the next 90 minutes is just us talking.
Right.
We spend the whole 2 hours here, but 90 minutes is just us talking, having conversation, getting stuff off their chest. And the great thing about it is when they talk to me, it never leaves. I'm not gonna lie, some of it I forget. But it's the fact that you got it out your system. You got your problems out of you. You were able to speak about your thing, which makes this place a safe place. Mm-hmm. So they don't never have to worry about coming in here and being judged for what's going on. Like, you can come here and talk about this wild and crazy night that you had, and you did some things that you never think you would do in your life, but you had to tell somebody. You told me 20 minutes before the show, it's out your system. Now me and you got an inside joke.
Right.
You know, and you feel like a better person. Or I even told you, like, look, it is what it is. These things happen. Do A, B, C, D, and be who you are.
Yeah.
And then they'll go on the show, and great show. They'll go to their regular everyday 9-to-5 job. Perfectly fine.
Right.
I got people now who literally will text me when they get up in the morning to tell me something to help them get through. I even have teammates at my regular 9-to-5 job who they come to me. You have managers, you have team leads, you have other coworkers, but no, they come to me to help them.
And that's kind of a damn shame. Like, I feel like anytime I've hired on, you know, and once Jvst Beauty has her brick and mortar location and I hire that manager, there's no way that employees aren't coming to talk to you. I just can't allow that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not saying that they need to spill their guts to anybody. I don't even want to know too much. Like, I don't.
You don't want to have that on me.
I don't want to have nothing on my mental. I don't even want to know too much. But if my employees, my sales associates my shift leads don't feel comfortable enough to talk to you as a manager, I can't let you have this sort of dictation over them.
Right.
Because it shouldn't feel like that. It should never feel like there's somebody in control of their day or in control of them that they can't trust. Because obviously, they have more leeway. They're a manager. They have the ability to hire, fire,
Right.
type of deal. But that power does not come without a level of understanding that you work for them.
Right.
I don't I don't work for myself. God damn it, I work for my employees.
Exactly.
I work to feed them. I gotta pay. I have to make sure money is in the account for payroll. These are my kids. Like these are
Exactly.
my people. No, I'm not. I don't work for myself. I work for them. And as long as you remember that as a CEO, you should be a-okay.
Right.
The moment you get crass and you think that this shit only moves because of you and this, that, and the third, you're losing.
Yeah,
I
you're
do
never
have to
gonna...
address one thing though.
Go ahead, get off your chest.
I know this.
What's on your mind?
I know that there are people who understand where this is coming from, and I know you're a lover of the artist and you're a lover of their relationship and stuff. It's a famous person and his girlfriend, but when this person says, I make thousands of dollars off a cosmetic line I don't even promote, that's some shit to me.
That's actually kind of insulting to all those in the cosmetics field.
Not, I don't give a fuck. Make your money how you make your money.
No, I feel like it is because you're more so bragging. To me, I feel like you're bragging towards your popularity more than what you're really doing.
What you care about.
Yeah, because I feel like if that check ended, you'd be hurt because you don't have the income, but you wouldn't care.
Right.
Whereas in someone like you, who you bust your butt every day to do what you love to do, wish you could have the kind of platform that this person has in this moment. Because I know you'll get there eventually.
Right.
Because that's because you just that person.
No, I agree.
But in this moment, let you have that kind of platform where you have people who could see you at this level.
Yeah.
And you would not only when those funds come in, you would appreciate it because you know that you work to get here. Whereas in this person, you just happen to be famous.
Exactly. And I think that's a huge insult to people who spend their money with you.
Exactly.
I never want to insult anybody who spend money with me. Even if you just came to a hosting that you knew I was at and you said, hey, I love when Bri hosts. I'm going to go and party up with her tonight.
Right.
Even at that level, I'm appreciative of you. And I love who you are for being so kind and generous to me enough to come out and see me in a party with me.
You could be anywhere else in the world.
Anywhere else in the world, but you chose me. And I think that statement, like, that is some shit. Like, and that's reality though.
Right.
When people buy into celebrities.
Right.
And that's okay because I love Rihanna. You know why? Because Rihanna uses her own shit. She promotes her own stuff
everywhere.
She curates her own things. And we see that in documentaries and this and that. But for somebody to blatantly say, you know what, I'm jipping y'all out y'all money every single day because I don't even promote it. Who knows if that's even a lip gloss that y'all ass got on your lips?
You don't know what this product could be doing to the people who are buying it.
At least you know I'm real. Exactly. I like Super Scent, who owns the Creon case, because she real as hell. And as long as I'm being real to myself, I'm going to be real with you. This is Jvst Beauty. Y'all want to know what I did today? I got makeup on, right?
Right.
My cosmetic line that's coming out.
As you should.
Now, this took months and months on end. Today, I tried out 3 powders on my damn face. Wiped it off, got back to it. Why? Because it fucking matters to me that anything that I put on my face has to be top notch. Anything that I put on anybody else's face got to be top notch.
Exactly.
And I hate that. I will not work with you. I would never carry that cosmetic line in Jvst Beauty. I don't care how many customers may even want it. You know why I would never? Because that CEO I can't fucking rock with. I can rock with it on a number of level of different things. But never are you sitting here and saying that you don't even promote your own stuff.
This is true.
I can't trust that. I can never trust. No. I can rock with Jada. She promotes her own stuff. We see her curating her own stuff. We see her at the photo shoots making it happen for herself. Oh, I can fucks with that.
You know what? That's the number one reason why I wear classic.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with majority of the other brands here in the city of Milwaukee, but I specifically rock classic because I sit there and I see Marie grind every single day.
It is a struggle.
I see it. I see her grind every single day. I see the vulnerability that she has in regards to it. I see how she tries to create new things. I literally see the whole process with her.
Yeah.
And because I see the whole process with her, we're talking about somebody in the world of fashion that's normally dominated by men designers at that, because
Yeah.
it's streetwear.
Yeah.
I commend her. I rock it everywhere I go. I think I got more classic clothes than anything. I
That's
was
good.
I was talking to her because when I did her interview, because she was in the last series I did, she actually
Yeah.
closed out my last series. When
Okay.
I interviewed her, I told her that, like, I think I have more classic stuff in my. I said when I was getting ready to get dressed to come do this episode, I found a T-shirt that I didn't even know I had, because I have so much of that.
Support Black
And I
businesses.
do. And I
Yeah.
have other people too. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to At Peace, because she's my other one I wear entirely too much as well too. Because I'm at peace now compared to I used to be a little angry, a little something.
Yeah.
but at the end of the day,
True.
I love grassroots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here, even on TDR, one of my hosts, she has her Vanities Cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally have watched her from teaching people how to make their own lip gloss and stuff like that, to having her own boutique.
Yeah.
And what's the place where you go get your hair and stuff done?
Salon.
Salon. There we go. Like, my mind went blank. She had her
Yeah.
own little salon for a minute there, and no matter what, she kept the brand growing. She, even to this day, she's now getting ready to move to Texas soon, and she's going to expand her brand down there. And I've always been great. I've always admired Alicia of how her drive was ever since she started doing this.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel with you. When I seen that you did, first of all, when you were in the mall, let's
Yeah.
get back to bragging on you. We're going to close the show out by bragging on you again. When you were in the mall, and like I said, what was going on during that time, I was worried about you.
Yeah. You know what? You amongst a lot of people, and I
was worried.
appreciate that.
I was worried about you. I was worried about you because I knew that the mall was a brand new business venture for you.
Yeah.
And if what was happening to the mall would have affect everything, I didn't want you to be one of those people who get discouraged and stop trying to go for it.
Yeah. Never.
And I
Never.
still could be worried,
Yeah.
because I don't know how much you were in. Like you said, you end up using your own money to begin with.
Yeah.
So had you invested all this into it, and all of a sudden the mall is like, you know what? We're going to have to close our doors,
Yeah.
or we're going to have to cut all these people. And I always felt that the kiosks were always going to be the first to go.
Number mother trucking one in all businesses, know you're out.
Yeah.
Know when you're out.
Right.
I knew that the mall was a certain amount of time. They didn't need to know that. You
Right.
never need to
tell them.
review your cards. You never need to reveal your cards to everybody. As long as your advisors, your people in your tightest, closest circle that you can go to for advice is right there, child, y'all know. And that's the only people that need to know. And when people heard that I was no longer in the mall, they were like, oh, why? This, that.
Yeah.
Oh, because when rent goes up, what you gonna do? Business ain't the same.
And
Look,
I knew that.
When rent goes down, guess what? Business ain't the same. And that's okay.
Right.
Well, how you gonna make it shake in these 3-4 months that you're here? Make it shake.
Right.
Make the most money that you can and be out. And that's perfectly fine.
Because I knew Mayfair is notorious for rent fluctuation.
Oh, yeah.
When the season's slow, rent goes
They see
up.
you making money, your rent changes.
Right.
Just know that. They see you a whole lot of clients. And trust me, there's people walking around that you don't even know. You think they average shoppers? No, they're not average shoppers. They're watching and seeing how many people is going in and out your store, going in and out your kiosk, going in and out the halls by you, and how much you're talking and this and that. And don't forget, you still got to submit a sales report.
You do.
And that's okay, because you can say whatever you want to say. But if they have more proof and evidence of people and foot traffic and this and that, child, you're out.
The life of the mall is that. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead.
And it's very beneficial. I would definitely say, depending on your service and products or whatever you have, it can be very lucrative.
It can.
You're out. Be a smart business
sometimes
person.
Sometimes that $1,500 rent for 4 months might be worth it.
Might be. Who knows?
You got to think about the long term goal here.
Yes.
But I don't want to keep you here much longer, because It's Saturday,
It is.
and the world needs to see you on a Saturday.
They gotta see you, girl.
So where can we find you? Where can we find your products? Where is Jvst Bri at?
Okay.
And that's Bri with a V.
Jvst Bri with a V. So you can follow me on all platforms at JVST_BRI. I'm talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm mostly on Instagram though. So, if you really want to catch up with me, that's like the best way to hit me up, hit my line. And then Jvst Beauty, you can follow Jvst Beauty on all platforms at JVST Beauty, baby. And make sure you go to our website. I have blogs up about different things like skincare, my journey starting Jvst Beauty, videos, all that good stuff. And don't forget, we're doing delivery. So if you see something that you like, just know that you don't have to order it and wait for shipment. We got on the hour demand delivery, and that's at JVST.com, JVSTBeauty.com.
What's your range? Like, how far out do you go?
So we go into as far down as the West Alice, South Side area.
So you stop
and then
at
as far
Southridge.
Basically. So basically Southridge is like our cutoff. Brookfield is our cutoff that way. And then Mayfair is our cutoff that way. So like if that makes any sense, like that makes like a circle.
Yeah, it does.
So like Brookfield area, Selfridge, and then Mayfair Mall. East side, I go all the way up into the lakefront. So
right. There's like once you hit the east side, that's might as well.
Right. So we go all the way up into the lakefront, all the way down to Mayfair, and then all the way out to Brookfield Mall, and then all the way out to Southridge. So that makes a real complete circle of Milwaukee area, like
you cover
within the counties as well.
You cover well.
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank you for stopping in. You are family, so you will always be back.
Thank you.
Make sure you check us out on all streaming platforms. That's Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever else you listen to your podcast at. Ooh, you could tell I ain't said that in a while. Make sure you also check us out on YouTube. This live will be available as I do season 4 of the Where I Come From series. Make sure you check us out on all other shows here on TDR. Whatever you like is here, except for true crimes. I'm working on that. But with that being, hell, we're in Milwaukee every day. It's a damn true crime.
True crime. Somebody talk about Alexis Patterson. I don't know. That was one of our big ones.
At this point in time, Alexis Patterson is a grown woman with her own kids.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. I thought about that.
You remember that brief moment in time when they swore up and down they found her?
Yeah.
And then they went on and they went and told the family, and then they had the family all happy.
DNA test, and it came back it wasn't even her.
It wasn't even her. But
that was wild. Wild times. True crime needs to happen in Milwaukee, though.
A true crime. You know what? Hold on. I'm working on that. Just hold my, as I say, hold my beer.
I got you. One of the top podcasts is True Crime. I think the two of them.
Top True Crime.
My favorite murder is like the number 1 in the country.
Yeah, top True Crimes really always are at the very, very top. And there'd be some weird crimes that some of them cover too.
Yeah, I don't know. That's I listen, but I don't listen too often.
It can't be listening too much. Then you can't sleep at night because
for sure
you start figuring things out. But with that being said, people, we are out of here. Peace.
Deuces.